Welcome to another episode of Chattin with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Chicky. What's up, man?
Brother,
I,
what's going on?
I'm chilling, man. Today is the
I see
day
you're
Al
doing
Bruno got killed, man.
18 years ago. 18 years ago, my man, my mentor, 18 years ago.
How did
Yeah,
you get
Sunday night, 18 years ago.
how did you get introduced to him?
We got people in the room?
Yeah, there's 10
Oh,
so far.
right, they'll come. We got a great story. Listen to me. Um, I knew him my whole life. As a kid, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 years old. He used to come in, 4 or 5 years old with him. His parents had a fruit stand in Springfield. Bruno used to come in the fruit stand. I knew him throughout the whole city. What was the guy? I mean, he was when as a kid, 10, 13, he was up and coming. He was a soldier. As time went on, he always liked me. He was going in and out of jail. He would go in for 6, 7 years. He'd come back out, go in for 2 years. Great friend with his sons. He had 5 sons: Victor, Anthony, Frankie. 5 different sons. Great. I was very close with Victor, his middle son. Grew up together. We were, as kids. I knew him his whole life. He knew me my whole life since, like I said, 10, 11, all the way up through teenage years. After high school, I went in the military. I got out of the military. I got hurt in the military. I got out. And like about 21, 22, I came back around and Bruno reached out to me. He knew me good. He said, Chicky, come. He came through a guy. He was in jail at the time. So he came through one of my friends' fathers, and they came and see me. They go, Chicky, we need a guy in the office. Now, meanwhile, at the time, the office, they say the office. And they said, we need a guy to clean out the office. So at the time, I didn't know nothing about work, bookmaking, all that shit. So I didn't know. So at the time, I'm thinking he needs me in the office to clean up, sweep, dump out trash. This is office means he needs me to get a fax machine and the other bookmakers all over the place send me the stuff and I stay on top of it. I make sure they're sending it on time so they don't pass post. So if the game starts, Saturday afternoon at 12 o'clock, I'm not the bookmaker ain't giving it to me at 12:30 when there's already a 2-point a college football game where they got 2 scores ahead, 14-0 at 20 after 12, which happened all the time. And some of the guys that are laying it off are putting it in through guys that ain't paying attention at 12:30. So right away they're putting in big action that the game already got 2 scores. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My job was to stay on top of that and make sure at 5 after 12, the 12 o'clock games were in. At 12:30, 12:35, the 12:30 games were in. 1 o'clock, the 1:10 were in. All day on Saturday, it was like a full day event because there's games that start all day long, all the way up till 10:20 at night. So Saturday was a huge day and Sunday was a big day, but Saturday was the biggest day. So that's how I started. I started, and then after a few years of doing that, I learned how to, from a guy who was with him for like 30 years. Guy was a master at the phone and a master bookmaker, a guy that Bruno had with him. And I learned from the guy. The guy, his name was Mickey. He was known for everywhere, all in New England. He was the best, and he taught me how to do everything. And this guy was like, it's almost like Frank Sinatra teaching a young singer how to sing. This guy taught me how to bookmake, and he was the best of the best. It's almost like the best basketball player teaching a young college kid how to play. It was kind of that similar, if you get what I'm saying. And I was with Bruno probably 20 years strong. I was with him, and and this is all public knowledge. It ain't like I'm bullshitting. It ain't like I'm making up. You can go on Google my name. It is what it is. I was with him for 20 years, and 2004 I picked up a case, a big bookmaking case in New England. Bruno was my co-defendant. But he was called an unindicted co-defendant because when the indictment came out in 2004, obviously he couldn't be on the indictment because he was murdered 18 years ago today, November 23rd, 2003. on a Sunday night outside the Mark Carmel Club in the parking lot. He was killed.
Tomorrow's his birthday too.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Yes. I'm not sure right. But
November 24th.
He was the 24th. Yeah, he was the. Let me exactly because it happened on the night, the eve of his birthday. And I'm gonna for people who are listening, I'll tell you what kind of guy he is, so you know. He was for our area, New England. He was the John Gotti Sr. of New England. Flashy, big stogies, alligator skin shoes, all of that stuff. You know, he was the like. I was at his house every Sunday eating dinner. Every Wednesday I was at he'd be at another house. I'd eat dinner there. We'd be down the YMCA. He would be there 5-6 days a week. He played racquetball, and then we'd take a steam together. There'd be a big steam room for all the guys. And we would go there, bust balls. We'd do a little workout. He'd play racquetball. We'd hang up they called it the VAC, which is the Valley Athletic Club. And it was like you had your own locker. You paid a little more, but we'd all meet there at night, 4:30. We'd work out a little bit. Back in the day, we'd take a steam, shave, put on our nice dress clothes, and we'd go out to dinner at his restaurant. He had a restaurant at the time called Caramia, and it was down on East Columbus Avenue, like 3 blocks up from MGM, now the new MGM. And I was with him, 7 days a week. I probably was with him 4 days a week. I seen him at least 4 days a week between eating dinner at his house. His wife, Anna, was a sweetheart of a woman. Used to cook for us every Sunday. Like I said, he had 5 sons. Victor was the closest to me. Anthony was a good kid too. Anthony owned Ciro's restaurant in Springfield, which if you guys are ever in Springfield or Western Mass, you go to MGM, go eat at Ciro's restaurant. It's incredible. His son Anthony owns it, Anthony Bruno. And Victor used to be in Springfield. He named he had a restaurant for 20 years. He named it Adolfo's after his father passed. And that's on that's on Worthington Street in Springfield. And like 3-4 years ago, or maybe 2-3 years ago, FBI did a sting on his restaurant. I don't know exactly the details, but he was indicted by the FBI in a case, and he moved to Florida. He just recently sold the restaurant, and he said, "Screw it, I'm out of Springfield. I don't want nothing to do with this town." And he moved to Florida to be with his mother. So some of his other brothers are still in Western Mass. And, Victor moved to Florida and started a new life. He's married, got kids. His mother's down there. She got remarried. And like I said, now we're 18 years later, 18 years ago today, he was murdered.
Damien told me to ask you about Anthony Bates.
Oh, forget it. They called him Bates. His name was Anthony. He's dead now, so I can say his name. His name is Anthony DeLavo, and they called him Bates because he remember Norman Bates in the movie Psycho?
Yeah, he's the guy in the back in the
remember
starter
Bates
hat.
Motel?
Yeah.
No. He's no guy, but they called him Bates because he was psycho. So they called him Bates after Norman Bates, the guy in the movie Psycho. But, he was a psycho guy. He was a psycho guy, and he was a real guy. I mean, he was a gangster, but he never dressed up. He ran like a third of the stands at the Big E, which if anybody's from New England, they went to the Big E. It's in West Springfield. It's called the Exposition, the Big E. Everybody knows about the Big E from everywhere, Yeah,
it's
huge. And he ran half the stands in the Big E. Like he had hot dog stands, cotton candy, popcorn. During the Big E, the whole month of September going into October, he had all the stands. So you can imagine the money they made. He was very, very dear close with my Uncle Joey. They were best friends. And I ain't gonna get, I won't get into too much, but he saved me on many occasions where I screwed up. Me and my guys would get in fights in bars that real serious guys own the bars, and they would get pissed at me, and they'd have sit downs with me and my guys. And he saved me more times from getting a beating because these guys were sick of us fighting in their joints, and they wanted to crown us. They wanted to cripple us. And Anthony saved me more times. He was like, "Oh, leave Chicky alone. These guys are, they're making him go a different way." And, it made up from even though he used to torture me and go, "You son of a bitch, you got out of another beating." And they would get beaten sometimes. So it was just funny. He was in my corner a couple of times, but he used to wear jeans, boots, flannel shirts, big beard. You would never get, if you seen this guy, you would think he was like a owner of a construction company. He didn't look the part, but he was a vicious animal. He was an animal. He's the guy, if he showed up and they were looking for you and this guy showed up, you know, this is the guy you jump out the window and try to get away because you ain't leaving. This guy was a serious, serious guy. And anyways, so that's Anthony DeLavo, serious guy. But thank God he liked me because he saved me many, many a times.
I'm
too
sure
many to remember, but
I'm sure every weekend you're banging up parts, right?
Listen, we were punks from the age of 16, probably mid-20s. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of us, we thought who we were, and we got in beefs, and we would abuse people, just like young kid assholes, thinking we could take on the world. But when you screw around in these guys' bars, it was a whole nother thing. Now, see this guy's picture you got next to Bruno?
Yeah, that's the guy that shot him, right?
That's Frankie Roach. Yeah, he was a low-level junkie, tough kid, a lot of balls. And he's the one that ended up. I'm not going to get into too much, but he's the one that was hired to kill Bruno. You know, and I'm going to get into certain things. I'm not going to get into everything. But he's the one that, and he ends up flipping. He ends up becoming an informant. Not an informant. He went on stand and told in a bunch of my people I was around me got indicted and convicted and are doing life because of this kid right here. So he was the one that shot Bruno. Sunday night, it was about 10:30 p.m. on a Sunday night in front of the Mark Carmel Society Social Club in the parking lot. Bruno was with another guy. He was coming out of the card game. He came up to his truck, a brand new Suburban truck, black, and he saw somebody coming. And this is public knowledge. This ain't like I'm giving secrets. A guy comes in with a hooded sweatshirt. That's the black Suburban. That's the FBI and state troops right there. That's Mark Carmel on the right. That was the night it happened. That was approximately maybe 10:45, 11 at night. I showed up on the scene about 10:45 at night. His son Victor was sitting on the curb with his aunt, with Bruno's sister. It was Victor's aunt. They were sitting on the corner crying. I pulled up. What happened, Vic? He hugged me. We were talking about it. And that was the night, Sunday night, 18 years ago, roughly 10:45, 11 o'clock at night. That's his black Suburban right there parked. He came out. A guy approached him with a hood on, like a sweat coat. And Bruno was a very talkative guy. Bruno was the kind of guy that anybody could say, Bruno, what's up? And he would go, what's up, buddy? Like he didn't even have to know you, and he would talk like he knew you 100 years. So the guy said, hey, Bruno. And of course, Bruno goes, what's up, buddy? And he's put his hand up to shake the guy's hand. And the guy came up with his hand, like to shake his hand, but he had a 45. And I think they shot 5 or 6 times. Once in the face, hit him in the cheek, and like a couple times in the chest, and I think 2 or 3 times in the groin. And he went, and that was the end of him. And there was a kid, I'm not going to mention names. There was a kid that was with him that was on the other side of the car. And of course, when the gun starts going off, he hit the ground. I mean, what's he going to do? And they didn't get him. And then the kid, after the bullets went off, boom, he ran down the street. And I guess he was picked up down the road from somebody else. But yeah, that was it. It was a crazy night. Yeah, this is Bruno on the right. On the left, that guy on the left's a piece of shit. That's John Bologna. He was a New York liaison for the boss. And, whatever the fuck, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not a scholar, but anyways.
You are, Chicky.
The guy on the left is John Bologna. He was a regular associate, not a made guy. He was a liaison, whatever the fuck the word is that you're criticizing me about.
I'm not criticizing.
And the guy on the left was a liaison for the boss and the acting boss at the time, Artie Nigro in the Bronx. Artie would send this guy down to see everything we were doing and to report back to him. And that's Bruno. There's Bruno with the cigar in his hand. You can't see it, but he's got the newspaper checking the lines like always. Right there's the newspaper on the right. And with the Hawaiian shirt on, and there's Bruno. And this guy used to come down with the big sunglasses and the beard and the slick back hair. And he used to act like he was the cat's meow. And at the end of the day, we got word from many people he was an informant, but nobody listened. Well, certain people listened, but other people didn't. And meanwhile, he was an informant the whole time. And then when Bruno got killed and everything came out, he testified in court, went against everybody. This guy from New York, John Bologna, he's dead now. And for the murder and for other things, he ended up getting 10 years. And I think he died in prison of cancer or something, maybe a heart attack, cancer, whatever. And he ends up dying. He ends up dying, you know, before the 10 years. He never got out. I think it was 7, 8 years. He ends up dying. Yep. And that's John Bologna. Yep.
Was there any other people from New York that used to come and see Al?
Al was from New York. They didn't back in the day when the old timers were around. They used to always come down. But in Bruno's era, when Bruno became the boss, there's Bruno. There's his young son Frankie to the left, hugging Jake Nettis with the glasses. With Jake Nettis and Bruno, and this is outside the Springfield courthouse. They beat this case. Bruno, they got Bruno. If you remember correctly, Bruno got innocent. Jake, there was something with the jury. And Bruno made the lawyer, Vinny Bongiorno at the time, and the jury came back on Jake's case and said, listen, I think he got guilty, but then they pulled the jury, and the jury goes, listen, the juror people said, we wanted to vote this guy with the glasses, Jakey, but pressure. So meanwhile, I don't know how it went on, but they're hugging now because Jake got innocent because they pulled the jury, and 2 jurors said, no, we wanted to vote innocent. They the jury guilty. So this is outside the court. It was big. There's Bruno, Jakey, there's his young son Frankie, and then Victor's over to the, and then the 2 guys in the back, one reporter on the right with the suspenders or whatever he's got. Glasses is just some guy that used to hang around. People thought that was Anthony DeLeo, but it's not. Anthony DeLeo would never show up to the court. You know, he would never be seen on camera, especially at something big like this. And Bruno's all happy.
I got a picture of Anthony. He passed away in 2005. It says.
Yes, yeah, he passed away in federal prison in Ayers, Mass. I think it's called Fort Devens Hospital. Yeah, he died of cancer. There he is. Yep. Animal. And he was they'll tell you the truth. That guy was a serious guy. If that guy showed up, and his uncle was Anthony Torino Vendo, who was a serious guy. And that was his uncle. And Anthony, listen, I'm not telling you I don't know. Go on Google the name. I'm not giving no mystery secrets out. This guy was a serious guy. If this guy showed up and he was looking for you, jump out the fucking window and get in a car and take off. But, you know, I'm just saying. That was him. Like, but thank God.
Was he kind of like the Ed Scarpa of that area?
100%. I don't know about that all crazy stuff. Scarpa, no.
Yeah.
I don't want to say he was the. What did you say, Scarpa? Whatever his name is. What's his name?
Yeah, Greg Scarpa. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to insult Anthony DeLeo by calling him Ed Scarpa, whatever Scarpa. Greg Scarpa, because Greg Scarpa was a fucking undercover rat. That's why he was killing everybody, because you could get away with it. He had the FBI in his pocket. Anthony, I don't want to disgrace him by saying he was like but craziest, yes. But talking to the FBI, 100% no. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Did you, someone asked, did you know Louis Manna?
No. I didn't know him personally, but he definitely was tied in with Springfield. They knew him good. The old timers knew him. No. Louis Manna, Bobby Manna, I thought they meant. There was a Bobby Manna who was a serious guy. There's Anthony all the way to the right when he was younger. See him there? He looks just like a fucking, he looks like a guy who should be at Cape Cod getting fucking fish. Running a fishbowl, don't he? Bruno's in the middle, and I think on the left, that's a young picture of Baba Shabelli, Albert Shabelli, Baba. His brother was Skyballs. They were serious back in the day. I think that's him. Yeah, that's Baba. Yep.
I got a couple.
These guys grew up around us. These guys grew up around us when we were kids. They were around us. Matter of fact, the guy in the left, we got in a fight in his bar, and that was the story I told on a couple shows where they brought us into a car lot, and they were banging us up pretty good. Thank God I didn't get hit because the guy on the right, Anthony, saved me, and a couple of my friends got knocked around, beat up, and the guy on the left was the guy that owned the bar Macara's in Springfield. It was a rock and roll disco packed every night, and he owned the bar, and he was the boss at the time, and they wanted to get us good for. I wasn't even there that day, but that's a whole other story. It was crazy. So, but yeah, that was another story.
Damien's asking me about Fanny Sofin and Frankie.
Oh no, that was that Frankie's still living. He's got a lot of problems. He lost his leg, but they were serious guys. They were best friends with the guy on the right, Anthony DeLevo. They weren't made guys, nothing like that, but they were serious as anything. Serious guys. Frankie Appitti is a great guy. I mean, he was a legend around here at the time, his whole life that I knew him, he was a legend. And so Franny Sofin was a serious guy. He got life in prison for murder, and he was in Massachusetts state prison for murder. And I think he passed away too. But they were serious guys. They had a crew under Anthony DeLevo, and it is what it is. These pictures I won't talk about because they're both living. And I don't got nothing to say. Unless they're good guys, I got nothing to say about them pictures.
All right.
But yeah, Bruno was a good guy. Bruno was a good guy, and there he is. The bottle of booze in his hand. That was on. That picture was taken on New Year's Eve. I don't remember when. His son took that picture, and his son. Adolfo's restaurant in Springfield, Mass. They're closed now, but if you go by, that picture's still there. He's got a huge picture, like 3 feet by 2 feet in the window. That's the picture. And a matter of fact, a couple of the lawyers that are my lawyers have that picture in their law office. It's bigger on the wall as they can be. You couldn't ask for a better picture of Bruno right there with bottle in his hand. He used to always point that finger, and it was so funny. He would tip his glasses down below his eyes, and he'd go, "Hey," he go to me. Every time I seen him, "Chicky, how we doing?" He would say, "How we doing?" meaning the sports, and I would bust his balls, and that was what he was known for. He'd go, "Hey, buddy, how we doing?" And he tipped the glasses down below his eyes, and then put his glasses back up, and he would always do that. He would always do that finger. That finger was his landmark. "Hey, buddy, how we doing?" What's this here? No, this is nothing to do with him. That's that. No.
That's the Bruno. That's the Philadelphia one.
Yeah, I never seen that. That ain't Western Mass or New England. That's something else. Nothing to do with us. If you go on Google and pull up Adolfo's on Worthington Street in Springfield, that was Victor. That was Adolfo's building, but when he passed, his son took it over. And Victor had Adolfo's, Caramia. Well, Caramia closed, but they had a great restaurant. It was incredible. In the 2000s, late 90s, all the 2000s, it was like the Copacabana in New York and Western Mass. It was packed. That whole street was incredible. Bar after strip joint, after restaurant, after nightclub. It was the best. They're all, if you go by, I went by there today about a couple hours ago. There's only like maybe 3 bars open out of 30. It's all closed down.
Yeah, that's how it is now, man.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It was like a nightlife of nightlife. And anybody in that year, in the 2000s, they will say what a great, great town it was, and city. But like I said, COVID killed everybody. It's a shame. It really is. But yeah, so that's so.
Have you ever heard of Jake Nettis?
That was the guy in the picture I showed you. That was the guy. That was the guy that I showed you when Bruno was happy. He had the glasses on, smiling. Yeah. Remember I told you the case where they were going to find him guilty and they pulled the jury. That was Jake Nettis in the background. Yeah, he was with. He was in the Frank Campini. Yeah, he was in the crew with Frank Campini, Anthony DeLevo, that whole crew. He was with them. They were animals. I mean, they got just as much respect as anybody, but they were serious guys.
This might be a little before your time, Chicky.
No, I remember him. That was the real deal. That was back in the Fat Tony Salerno, Vincent. That was the real deal. That was back in the Vito Genovese days. This was the real deal. They never would say it to his face, but that Sam Kafari, big nose Sam Kafari, that was the old school, the boss of the boss around here. And he had all the connections. Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett, Marilyn Monroe, Liza Minnelli. They all knew this guy. He was the Vito Genovese of this area, and they all loved him in New York. This guy was the real guy. And everybody loved him, and he was a great guy. And they called him Big Nose Sam, but believe me, nobody on the street would ever say that to him. But that's what they called him.
Was he around when Bruno got killed, or was he gone by that time?
No, he was gone. He was dead. I think you'd have to check it on Google, but I think he was dead in the early '80s, something like that. Yeah, he was a serious guy and very well respected, and he owned Ciro's prior to all the other people taking it over. But he was the original owner of Ciro's, and Ciro's was like the Copacabana of Springfield, of Western Mass, even of New England. this guy was known, to be honest with you, I think, I might be wrong, but I think this guy right here, and I'm almost positive, but I could be wrong, this guy was at the meeting in upstate New York when they had all that commission meeting.
Yeah, in the 50s.
This guy was there. I'm almost positive he was there. I forgot the name. What they call him? That town, whatever, Appalachia, whatever it was.
Appalachian, yeah.
Whatever
Appalachian
it was. Now see, okay, the guy on the left, the little short guy, is 5'4" with the white hair.
Yep.
Him, the little short guy with the black suit, right?
Yeah.
That's Frank. That's Frankie Skyball Schiavelli, vicious animal, 5'4", vicious animal. He was the boss, you know, and I met him several times. Good guy, but he didn't take no shit from nobody. That guy there was a serious guy. He passed away too, I think in the 80s, or I want to say maybe early 90s. But Bruno, they were all under him, but he was a serious guy back in the day. Everybody knows about him. It's not like I'm giving secrets. You can go on Google. Everybody knows about the guy. A serious guy, maybe 5'4", but there ain't a guy that was 10 feet tall that would fuck with him. But he was a serious guy. He was in our area. You know, he was a good guy.
Yo, what were some of the maybe situations that happened back in the day when you were around that really stick out in your mind?
I mean,
before
he
got killed, before Bruno got killed.
Main thing, fighting in their bars that they owned, and them just going crazy on us. And there was a bar. It was called The Solution. It was TJ Horror Hands. Then it became The Solution. It was on the corner of East Columbus Ave and Worthington Street in Springfield. And me and another kid, T, who was a dear friend of mine, he was Victor Bruno's best friend. Bruno had a piece of the joint, and he kept getting robbed. Every week he was complaining to me, Chicky, I'm getting robbed in this fucking joint. I'm going to hurt somebody. He goes, so what are you doing? I go, nothing. He goes, why don't you and T run the joint for me? You stand at one door, T stands at the other, and you collect the money with somebody and just stay on top of it, pay the people, and just make sure I don't get robbed. I'm sick of getting robbed. So me and T end up doing that. And at the time, I told you the story before, Staxx, Aaron Lewis and Stained were the group that played for us every week in there before they became big. And I used to pay them $200 a night, $50 a guy, 4 guys. I used to pay them every week. And then they made some kind of record or something with MTV, came out. And then they made an album. They got a little big, but they were still playing with us. And then all of a sudden, they hit it off with a song. A good friend of mine, the guy's name was Big Book Baker. Mine, his.
You broke up, bro.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
All right. So this girl, the girl Vanessa Zamboni ends up meeting Aaron Lewis, the lead singer of Stained, in TJ Horror Hands. She meets him. They fall in love. She ends up marrying him. She's in the video. It's been a while. You can have your listeners, go on Google and pull up Aaron Lewis Stained, Stained. They sing a song. It's been a while. You know the song. I can't sing.
Yeah, you know everybody knows that song, man.
It's all right, yeah, because I take it for granted because I'm from here. I knew them when they were nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, she's the one he's singing to. She's laying on the floor. She looks like a model. She's laying on the floor, and he's burning pictures and all this bullshit in the video. That's her on the floor. That's my dear friend's granddaughter. And I know her father, too. Nice guy. I know her father, too, and her uncles. And they're divorced now. But anyways, that was Aaron Lewis's wife. They have 2 kids together. There's Aaron Lewis right there.
There's nothing I could do. There's nothing I could do about the connection, bro. This is what it is. Like,
okay, who's saying why? You can't hear can you hear me? Okay.
They're just saying it's crackly, a little bit.
I'm sorry. We're doing the best. We're doing the best we can. Sorry.
Yeah, it is.
So that's Aaron Lewis right there, and the kid's huge. I mean, I can't. Everybody telling me how huge he is. I take it for granted because I really don't know him. Because I knew him when we were fooling around with him and banging him around, giving him $50 a piece. But they say the kid's huge, and I told you don't get into it now. But that's another guest that I'm already talking to him for you. But don't get into that now.
Yeah, he's a rock star, man. He's a true rock star, bro.
Yeah. He used to. When my daughters were young, his daughters were young. My daughters and his daughters are right around the same age. And I'll never forget. Sometime my niece will tell you the story. My niece was having her 16th birthday party at my mother's house, and Aaron Lewis was working at the TJ Horror Hands at that time, and he had just made it big. So my niece, Nicole, my brother's daughter, was 16 years old. We were having a birthday party. Her favorite singer in the whole world was Aaron Lewis because they just made it big with It's Been a While and all these songs. So the phone rings at my mother's house because back then we didn't have the cell phones on hand like we do now. And I go, hello, it's him. So I go, what's up, buddy? He goes, Chicky, I called like you told me to. I go, okay. So I go, I'm going to put my niece on the phone, you know, and tell her you got to, and sing happy birthday to her in your voice. So I go, Nicole, I call her, and she'll tell you the story. I'll get her on your show sometime. So she says, oh my God, Uncle David, love you so much. I can't believe it. She says to this day, this was like a long time ago, you know, maybe 15 years ago. She goes, oh my God, I can't believe what you did. So 16th birthday, Aaron Lewis goes, is this Nicole? She goes, yes, it is. He goes, I'm good friends with your uncle. I got something to sing to you. She goes, who's this? He goes, Aaron Lewis from Stained. She almost passed out. He's saying happy birthday, and it's been a while. On the phone to my niece. She almost lost her. Forget about it. Yeah, it's crazy.
Sure,
but
man.
that's how the respect. That's how the guy liked me, and I liked him. The guy was a gentleman. He was a true gentleman. He lives like maybe a half hour from me out in the woods in Monroe, Mass. Maybe 45 minutes. He lives on a huge piece of house.
Yeah, I got a picture of the house.
Recording studio, and it's huge. Yep, there it is. Yep. And the recording studio's on the right. I've been to that house. On the right-hand side with the glass on top, that's his recording studio. And he built his wife Vanessa divorced him with her 2 kids, and he built her a house on that property that's just as nice as that, just for her. You know?
Wow.
Yeah, that's his house. That's in Monroe, Mass. It's about 45 minutes from Springfield, going up the Mass Pike towards Albany.
At least he not like most guys wouldn't do that for their ex-wife.
No,
you know?
he didn't. No, I think between you and I think he still loves his ex-wife to this day. But you know, I'm not going to get into that. That's their business. But she caught him in a bad position on tour. She showed up with the kids at a hotel, you know, out in the country, like way out in the south somewhere, and she caught him in uncompromising positions, I guess. But I don't want to get into that. So I don't know how true that is, but that's what I heard. That's neither here nor there. That's what I heard. I could be wrong.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So he's a good dude.
When you were around Bruno, Chicky, did you guys notice a lot of law enforcement around?
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? He couldn't leave nowhere. I mean, even if we were eating dinner with him, I come out of his house on a Sunday afternoon, they were everywhere. Taking pictures. They were in the vans. I mean, the guy couldn't leave nowhere. He was, and I don't want to bring his name up, but just giving you your people listening, I'm giving you a thing. He was the John Gotti Sr. of our area, bottom line. And anybody, truth will tell you the same thing. That's how he was. Bottom line, he was John Gotti of this area, you know.
Have you ever seen other bosses and stuff like that come up to visit him besides that other guy that used to go visit him from the city?
No, not really. They used to go down. They used to go down to New York. The other guys, I mean, you know, in secret they probably come up. I never seen it, but they would come up here and there. But he would go there. He would go there every so often, and definitely around Christmas, he'd go down there with a big van. I know a couple guys that used to go down with the van with him. I went only a couple times, but he would stock up the van with, like I said. You know, never, you know,
champagnes and stuff and meats and stuff like
champagne,
that.
Like all high-end liquors. Carando Meats was in Springfield, so he'd load it up with, you know, thousands and $1,000 of super side and cheese and provolone and mozzarella, everything. Meat, booze, homemade Italian wine. They would go down with a truckload like a week before Christmas and go down in Harlem to the Italian club. Where Fat Tony Salerno was, and where Vincent the Chingiganti, their social club, and it was in Harlem, and they would go down there, and they would just bring the van and unload everything. And I went down with a couple times, but not as many as a lot of my friends did. But I went a couple times, and it was incredible. I mean, it was incredible, and that's it. I mean, Bruno, they love Bruno. Anywhere you go, any federal prison. Bruno, they loved him. There wasn't one guy talked bad about him. They loved Bruno, and he was known to be a flashy, money-making machine. He was a money animal, that guy there.
Yeah.
No matter what we had in Springfield, Italian feast, this, that, the other, he used to get money, you know, for the different things. Back then, it was incredible. We had the Italian feast. We had dinners. I mean, it was incredible. When he was around, it was like night and day. It was incredible. It really was. And there ain't nobody that'll tell you different if they're telling you the truth. But I'll tell you the truth. I like the guy a lot. you know, it is what it is. I mean, it's too bad. And then in that life, it's a lot of politics. Shit goes on behind the door, closed doors. And it's too bad it happened the way it happened. But it's really too bad. But he was a great guy.
What about people coming to start trouble, like maybe a different kind of group?
No. See, that's the difference with Western Mass, Springfield, Connecticut, all the way almost into Boston, Worcester. It wasn't like in New York, there's 5 families, plus the Albanians and plus the Russians and the Chinese, like 7 different factions all fighting for the same corner. Western Mass was different. Western Mass was all one family. That's it. There was no fighting. You know,
yeah, but have you ever seen maybe an independent person try to move in, independent people, and be like,
I've never seen it, but if it did happen, it wouldn't have happened for long. It would have been squashed in 2 days. I mean, I didn't see it happen. Don't get me wrong, but it wouldn't happen. You know, if they were independent, they'd have to have their head examined to come in our area and try to start something up, because they would put out of business so fast their head would spin. I've never seen it happen. I've been around a lot of serious guys. Never seen it happen.
Yeah, man. What do you think the future is for the Springfield faction of?
It's I don't even want to get into it, but I'm going to say, never mind the Springfield faction. Every faction, it's over. It's over. That's just my opinion. Like I said, you could say, "Oh, you're crazy." My opinion, it's over. Well, New York, you got bosses flipping, capos flipping, under bosses flipping. It's over.
Got the cell phones today. Everybody got cell phones today. Now
Your phone's acting crazy, man.
I'm sorry. Now?
No, sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I'm on the phone with you, and I got assholes calling me. You know, they know I'm on the thing, but they want to bust my balls and call me to screw up our reception. But anyways, I declined them. But anyways, in my opinion, and I don't know much about nothing, but it's over. It's over. All the big shot guys in New York, they're millionaires already. They got great businesses, restaurants, nightclubs, strip joints, and they're just playing. They're going low off the you know, they're staying low off the radar. They don't want nothing to do with nothing. And I mean, welcome to 2000. Going to be 22. It's over. Anybody who got money, go open a joint, open a restaurant, open a food place, or whatever you want to do. You know, it's time to make the donuts, like the guy from Dunkin' Donuts said. Time to make the donuts. Yeah. Go get a job. It's over.
I got another picture to show you, man.
Like the Colombo family, right?
Yeah.
The whole upper echelon turned over. And the whole upper echelons, captains, everybody, a lot of people turned over. And not only the Colombos, every family. But I got to say, and you can look on the internet, I mean, it is what it is. The Genovese family is still, of all the families, of all the people who testified and went against each other, the Genovese are still the least of all of them. Everybody you know, they don't get me wrong. There was here, there rats, but they're the least of all the families that turned over. The Genovese, and you can check on their line. It ain't me bullshitting. It's a fact. But whatever, it is what it is.
Hold on, I gotta show you one more. I gotta show you another picture, and you tell me what you think of these people.
Okay, Freddie and Ty, very good friends of mine. Yeah, serious kids. Ty on the right, Freddie on the left. To my left, Freddie.
What was your relationship like with them?
We were friends. I was with these kids for a long time. You know, I was around these kids a lot. Ty on the right, crazy. Freddie had the brains, but he was just as crazy. 2 solid, tough kids. They were in Springfield. They were the dudes. They were serious kids. Greek kids. Let me tell you, if they were Greek and they were Italian, they would have made no problem. They just were Greek. They couldn't get made. But they were as loyal as they come. Freddie on my left is the one allegedly, and I say allegedly because he ain't been charged, and I hope he doesn't get charged. He's the one. He's in West Virginia. He's the one allegedly accused of killing Whitey Bulger, the guy from the big time. So.
And he's been locked up for how long?
Over 3 years. He's been in the hole in Hazelton. Allegedly. No, they didn't charge him. They didn't charge him yet, and hopefully they don't. Him and another kid, nice kid named Paulie DiColangelo from Massachusetts. They got him both of them guys walking in the cell and then coming out. And because when they went, there he is on the right. There's the rat bastard Whitey Bulger, and on the left is Freddie. And And I guess listen to me. The bottom line is Freddie and Paulie walked in the cell probably to say hello to him, nothing else. And then they left the cell. And Whitey could have fell and banged his head on the post, on his post of his bed and died. So they got them coming out. And allegedly, they can't charge them because they don't have no camera in the cell. They only got a camera of them two walking in and walking out 5 or 10 minutes later. But like I said, they could have went in and said, hey, Whitey, nice to see you. You know, glad to have you here, and walked out. And Whitey fell and banged his head and his eyeballs came out by mistake. And that was it. You know, who knows?
Could have been. The way.
Listen, there was no camera in the cell, so that's what I say happened.
How about Albert Gallo? Damien, it's Albert Gallo.
I don't know who that is. Gallo. I don't know who that is.
When these guys were on the street, were they like causing havoc everywhere? Were they calm dudes? Like, how did they act when they were out?
Calm dudes. They were too fucking animals. When you seen them walking a fucking bar, not me because I was close to them, but any normal person that was normal that knew what they were, if there was no back door, they jumped out the fucking window to get out of there. They were good kids, solid as they come, funny bastards. They lived in West Springfield. And it is what it is. That's you know, the brothers. They were together. And they're those two in life. They were together, and they got in a fight. Somebody was stabbed. The four of them were together. Somebody got stabbed. And in the Bureau of Prisons, they put the brothers together as soon as so they don't fuck up. But as soon as you fuck up, bang, they separate you. So I think last I heard, Ty was in California and Freddie's in Hazleton. I believe Hazleton, West Virginia. So they split them up. So now they'll never be together again, which is a shame because it would have been nice if they both were together throughout their life bid.
He stabbed himself in the back, threw himself down the steps.
He might have banged his head on the fucking post, or who knows? I don't know. That's the way I'm saying it played out.
Daryl says, "Come on, Gallo brothers went to Genovese. Joey Gallo's younger brother."
No. That's New York. That's the Gallo. Yeah. I don't know nothing about that.
This is Springfield. We're talking about Springfield.
This is Western Mass, New England. Gallo brothers were in. They were serious guys. If you go, I read like everybody else on Instagram and all over YouTube. But they were serious guys. But hey, anytime there's a threat with a vicious, crazy guy, what happens? Joey Gallo, crazy, vicious. What happened to him? He got killed. Eventually, who else? Roy DeMeo. Sick maniac killer. What happened to him? In the trunk, dead. I mean, any sick, really sick killer that they know is sick. Eventually, if he pushes the envelope, no matter how crazy, how sick you are, you're going in the trunk, and that's what happened. That's too bad.
They sometimes they're causing too much trouble, and they just want to get him out of there.
And other factions, other people say he's too crazy to be on the street. He's making us look bad. Whatever. Roy DeMeo. I mean, come on. The guy was a vicious animal. He ends up in a trunk dead. So,
Andrew Rocco says, did Sonny Money go to Springfield and catch that lump?
I don't even want to get into that. That's a fucking joke. Come on. No.
He must have, though.
Please, can I tell you something, please? Can everybody please, and I don't know the kid. I feel bad for the kid. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, he's on this YouTube and he's got people following him. But I mean, come on. I mean, if anything, when people see this kid on the street, don't punch him in the face. Give him a hug and say, give him a hug and just say, we feel bad for you and keep going. It is what it is. Don't beat this kid up. Come on.
Jimmy Santinello.
Oh, another one. Forget about him. He owns the Mardi Gras strip joint, the biggest money-making strip joint in New England. Now with COVID, it destroyed everything. He's another one, played the gangster card. At the end of the day, you can Google him. I'm not just making up something. He's been an informant for a lot of years. Friends, a lot of guys that are selling the streets.
Oh, you're breaking up, man.
Irish pubs.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now.
Staxx, you hear me?
Yep.
Sorry, I'm where I am here. But anyways, yeah, he's another one. He turned on all of his good friends. He turned on his family. And it is what it is. Go on YouTube. Go on Google his name. He's been an informant for the past 15 years. It is what it is. I really, I don't see him. I don't bother with him. And that's the end of that. So that's it with him.
Yeah, man. So when you were around Bruno and his birthdays would come by,
Yeah.
I'm sure you remember this time of year when you were hanging around
Oh
him.
yeah, yeah. We'd have dinners at the restaurant
Yeah.
on Sunday before or after his birthday. We'd have dinner. His wife would cook dinner on Sunday afternoon. Anna, what a sweetheart of a woman, Anna Bruno, and we'd all sit there and eat. And on a couple of his big birthdays, like his 50th and all these different big monument birthdays, his sons would have a big party at the house for him and have bands come and singers and all kinds of shit, you know. But oh yeah, we celebrated Bruno. I'm telling you, it's too bad because Bruno was the real deal, and I'm honored to say he was my mentor, and I'm honored to have been around him. And there ain't nobody that knows me, that knows my, you know, life. They can't say anything different. I was around them from the get-go. I was around them 20 years strong. Never mind as a kid. I'm talking about with him. And you know, hey, he was a great guy to know. It's too bad the chain of events that led to his death. But there's 3-4 different stories. Some stories this, some stories that. You're never going to know the true story. But the bottom line is anybody will tell you he was a good guy. And it's unfortunate it ended the way it ended, no matter what happened either way, you know?
So when he got killed, it really broke your heart then, right?
Oh, absolutely. But, you know,
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into specifics, but he was going downhill. We didn't never think that was going to happen. But he was going downhill at the end. He was drinking too much. He had a lot. You could tell there was something on his mind. I don't know what it was, but he was going downhill. You could tell he wasn't himself. He was making some bad decisions, and he must have thought something in his head. You know, he must have knew something in his head that none of us did, because you could tell
They say that you know that death is coming when
I don't know. Yeah, maybe
before
who knows?
you die. That's what I hear. I hear that you know it's coming.
There was. I don't know if that's what it was. It could be possible, but I don't know if that was what it was. But he knew something was wrong because he wasn't himself. He was drinking too much. He was like drinking, you know, acting different. He was drinking too much when he was drunk all the time. He never was like that. So, like I said, maybe he knew something in his head. I didn't. I never saw it. I never knew nothing, but it is what it is. Obviously, he knew something because, you know, it didn't end good for the poor bastard.
Yeah. So what do you think would have happened if he didn't get killed? What do you think would have been the outcome with Springfield and everything if he didn't get killed?
Oh, it would have been, come on, it would have been night and day. But the poor guy, he was so hot on the radar, he would have went back to jail. There's no doubt in my mind he would have picked up another case and been back in jail right now. But, I mean, it would have just been, I don't know. Like I said, there's so many answers to that question. I don't know. Like, it would have been great, but I think he would have went back to jail not too long. Within the next 5 years, if he didn't get killed within the next 5 years, if he didn't get killed the next 5 years, I think he would have picked up a big organized crime case. He would have been back in jail. That's what I think. Maybe I'm wrong. What do I know? But I'm just saying, I think in the next 5 years from when he got killed forward 5 years, he would have picked up a huge case. And, you know, and with his record, he would have got 20 years, you know, as the wind blew. So that's what I think would have happened. But no one ever in a million years thought he was going to get killed.
Especially by his own people, right? Especially by his own people.
That's a whole other story that I won't get into. But no, there's 3 different stories what happened. We hear some stories, we hear other stories, but that's a story I won't get into. But no, absolutely. It's crazy. It's a crazy story. But it's too bad. It's too bad. And I think even the people that are accused of being involved in it, you know, if they could take back time and go back to that night, I don't think it would ever happen. To be honest with you, that's my opinion. I could be way wrong. It is what it is, though.
You think they're sitting? You think they're sitting in the cell regretting it right now?
Listen, okay? And this is my opinion. I could be wrong.
There could be only one person that doesn't regret it, right?
Well, no. I think even them people regret it too for whatever reason. In other words, some people regret it because they're in jail. Other people regret it because they're not in jail. But you know, whatever it is, what it is. I think a lot of people regret it. I really do. But keep in mind, if you're in jail for killing somebody that hurt your kid, hurt your family, hurt your mother, I would wake up every morning with a smile on my face, work out, and say, I wouldn't want to be no place other than in jail, if that was that. But if you're in jail for killing a guy who really you had no business killing or whatever, he wasn't no big deal to you, you could have just basically minded your business and go on with your life, and who cared about him? I think them are the people that regret it. You know what I mean? That killed because they were ordered to kill. But if you kill because someone hurt my kid or my mother or my father or anything like that, I'd wake up every day with a smile and go to bed every night with a smile. But the guys that are doing life now, if they had a chance to go back to that day and not be there or not order it, and they could be out with their family and their kids and having this holiday with their kids, I don't think there's anybody that wouldn't go back and not do what they did, except for if somebody's kid gets hurt, or family is family. You know, if somebody hurts your kid, I'll go to jail. I'll do 500. You know, I'll go to 500 years. Put me in for life. But stupid things looking back, doing it because you were ordered to, doing it because somebody told you to do it. I think them guys would get out in a minute if they could go back to that day and say, listen, I don't want no part of it. Go do it yourself. That's my opinion. I could be way off.
Yeah. But hey, man, he reminds me of the Bruno from Philadelphia. You know,
yeah,
like
that was a
Don.
but that Bruno was a whole nother. That guy, that Angelo Bruno was a serious guy. He was with the old timers. He was with Carlo Gambino. He was with the serious guys. He was an old time guy. And like I said, a lot of people make Western Mass like South Philly. They say Springfield's just like South Philly. That, you know, the different things. And they made their mistakes out there too. I mean, South Philly, I'm not an expert at South Philly, but they made their mistakes. I mean, they killed that kid who was an up-and-comer. They said the kid, Salvi Testa, would have been the guest gangster. He was on his way to be the best gangster who ever lived. And that little nutcase, Nicky Scarfo, killed him for no reason. Nicky Scarfo had Sally Testa killed because he was jealous of him. He thought he was getting too much respect amongst the young crew. And that's the reason. He had no reason to kill him. Salvi Testa was so loyal to Nicky Scarfo and Philip Leonetti. And Phil Leonetti became a rat against his uncle Scarfo. And you know who else he testified against?
Who?
Al Bruno in Springfield.
He did?
Go on Google.
I didn't know that.
During one of Bruno had a murder case that he beat. That they shot at a guy. It wasn't a murder beef. It was a assault and battery with a gun. They shot at a guy and he lived. A Maruca, Italian mobster out of Albany, New York. And he ran down the hill and got away. And a neighbor called the cops and said they saw Bruno running. I don't know exactly what happened, but they accused Bruno of murder. And Leonetti testified against Bruno at the same time because Bruno was in Fort Lauderdale with, they have pictures on the newspaper. You should get the picture. It's incredible. Bruno's on a boat in shooters in Fort Lauderdale with Nicky Scarfo, Leonetti, and about 30 of the young kids from South Philly. Bruno's on the boat with a couple other of my friends' fathers partying, having drinks. When Nicky Scarfo used to go to Fort Lauderdale, they used to hook up with Bruno and take him on the boat. The guys from Philly, South Philly. Bruno was well liked by Nicky Scarfo, and Leonetti testified against Bruno in his trial, and he beat the trial. But you can go on Google, punch name, and came to Springfield, testified against him.
Yeah.
So small world.
Damien's asking if you and him are gonna bring back the your channel.
Yeah, we're gonna do definitely. We're talking now. We're definitely gonna do something. I just got to get through. I ain't gonna get into it now, but I got some legal shit that's coming to an end soon, and I want to get through that, and then we're gonna do something for sure. And just to know, and I know nobody believes it. Me and had the first Mafia podcast for anybody. It was like 2000. I want to 18. This is before Sammy the Bull, Francine.
Before Eli, it was before Eli and all of them.
All of them. We had the first ones. We were going to New York. We were doing podcasts with Patrick. His father was Bobby Borello, the bodyguard to John Gotti Sr. Guys, the Wise Guy brothers in Brooklyn, that their family owns Copacabana. We were interviewing everybody. I interviewed Chuck Zito about the Hells Angels and about the mob affiliation, all that bullshit. You can go on YouTube, check it all out, pull up my name with Zito, and you'll see it. So me and Damien, if we would have still been in the business, there's no doubt in my mind. But, due to some people we became partners with, we made some bad decisions, but that's neither here or there. No one's talking about it. So I just got to get through some legal shit, and then we go from there. Right now, though, we did, it's funny to say, but we did it. We're in a couple movies. I just, a couple of days ago, I don't know how I finagled this, but there's a movie, Pep, being filmed in Hartford, Connecticut. And it's about Willie Pep, the fighter, and Jay Gioni, James Matteo, what's his name? I was on set last week, and we killed it. I'm actually one of the lead role, where I'm in a scene with James Matteo, the guy who plays Willie Pep. Great actor. He was in a lot of movies. He was in Band of Brothers. He was in
You're breaking up bad.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
It's all right, man. Yeah, I could hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I got a picture of
me in and out a little. I'm in a good spot.
I got a picture of Willie Pep right here.
There he is. That's him. 5'4", 126 pounds. And the guy who plays him, James Matteo, looks just like him. They could be twins.
Yes, he does.
They could be twins.
Looks just like him. Yeah.
If you go, not to promote me, but I'm just saying, if you go on my Instagram, official_Chicky, and my last name, CECCHETLLI, I got a ton of pictures up from the last 3-4 days filming with the kid, and the kid looks just like him.
Yeah. So, hey, Chicky, I got another question for you.
Yeah,
so,
he was a little animal. This guy.
When you were around Bruno, did he ever tell you like what the process he took to getting made, to getting his bones? Did he ever tell you anything like that?
Never. That would never. Listen to me. No guy would ever say that to anybody. You know, now you're hearing about it because a lot of guys are flipping, they're becoming informants, they become, stool pigeons, whatever, and they're going on these different shows all over the country telling what it's like to be made. But no made guy or no guy in that life is going to talk to anybody about that. That's never going to happen. No, I never heard anything like that in my life. Now you're starting to hear stories because people are doing shows, but no, back in that day, if you even asked that, they would slap your face and say, "What are you, nuts to even ask that?" You wouldn't even ask that. But no, that's a no, 100% no.
Yeah, man. So,
it was crazy to be around them, though. I mean, it's crazy.
I'm sure,
it really is.
I'm sure
he
told you some stories, right?
Oh, come on. There was so many stories with him. Keep in mind now, when the guy you showed, Big Nose Sam, the guy with the suit that I said was around serious guys, he went to the Appalachian, all that for that meeting.
Yeah.
Bruno was an up-and-coming soldier at the time. He was hanging around them guys, so Bruno was their muscle. So they would hang around with Bruno, and then if anybody had to get slapped or there had to be somebody get beaten, they would get Bruno, because Bruno was in the 70s and 80s, was an up-and-coming guy. So he did all the, beating people up and whatever. It is what it is. But that's how he made his bones, I guess.
So up there in Springfield, did some people hear him?
Bruno. Straight ahead is Bruno. To my left with his head down with the glasses and the nice hairdo. That's back in the day. Now not so much, but back in the day, that was Vinny Bongiorni. That was the biggest mob, best lawyer in New England, right there on the left with his head down. That was outside the Springfield courthouse during one of the trials. And then next to Bruno in the back with the guy's head down, the guy, you only could see the top of his hair parted. That's Jack Mayer. He was my lawyer in my first bookmaking case. Them two lawyers were like the Bruce Cutler and whoever other big lawyer you can name. Them two guys there. They were the best lawyers in the country, the best lawyer in our area at the time. Yeah.
Gianni here says that Bruno's son
I don't know who the guy on the right
him,
with the beard is. I think he's some legal person too.
Bruno's son told him that Al never learned to read or write.
What's that?
This dude Gianni says Bruno's son told him that Al never learned to read or write.
Oh, really? I don't know about that, and he could be 100% right, but I know one thing. When it came to time at the end of the week to figuring out the figures, he knew how to read and write pretty fucking good, and he knew math pretty good too. He couldn't get over it for a dollar.
Yeah, that's probably what he knew.
He knew how to read and write when it came at the end of the week. He's probably right. I don't think he made it through school, but I know at the end of the week when we were going over figures at Sunday at his house, he fucking knew every nickel.
Yeah, when he wanted all them fucking pennies in his pocket, he knew the damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's
that's a fact.
That's hilarious, dude.
Just like, you want to hear another funny thing? This was fun. I got to laugh at this. So, you know how Vincent the Chingiganti was wearing a bathrobe walking down Sullivan Street in New York? in
Yeah.
Greenwich Village, and he acted crazy and everything. So I got to laugh at this, even though I can't stand Sammy the Bull, but I got to laugh at this. So Sammy the Bull testified in one of his trials, right? And it came out, it said to Sammy the Bull, they said that you can go on Google, you'll piss your pants, you ever see the actual footage. So the prosecutor said to Sammy the Bull, do you believe Vincent the Chingiganti is mental and he's not stable and he walks in a bathrobe and he's mentally ill? And Sammy the Bull's answer was, well, I don't know about during the day what he was like, but I know when it came time for me to owe him money, he knew every fucking penny I had to give him. He said that to the judge. So I laughed. I thought that was funny. It kind of what I just said about Bruno. He goes, I don't know if he was mental, but when I owed him money and I had to give up money from our family, he knew every penny we owed him.
You want to talk about
I brought it up.
You want to talk about your role in Hungry Hill?
Yeah, I definitely. I play kind of like the underboss, and they call me Pudgy Sorrento, and it's a great role. I'm so looking forward to playing it. The Kickstarter is coming out this Friday, hopefully. I think it's coming out this Friday or next Friday, and we're looking for anybody. We got a Kickstarter program through the internet, Facebook, and we're going to give you guys an option, of how to help us. We need. In the first 24 hours, we got to kill it with as many donations as you can get. And we appreciate it from everybody because I'm telling you, this is going to be huge. And if you can put in $5, $10, whatever you can put in. If you can put in more, salute. Thank you. If you can't, we understand. But
share it.
Anything you can give is great.
If they can't
donate, exactly.
They can share it.
Whatever, right. And I just think it's going to be incredible. And it's about I grew up on Hungry Hill, East Springfield. It's a lot of Irish, a lot of Italian. I grew up in that neighborhood, so I know it very well. A lot of my friends were from Hungry Hill. They were Irish kids, tough kids, and it's about the neighborhood in Springfield. East Springfield, Hungry Hill. The neighborhood was Hungry Hill, and a lot of tough kids and a lot of fighters came out of there. A lot of Irish fighters, a lot of Italians, and we were close with them. I mean, a lot of my best friends were kids from Hungry Hill, Irish kids I went to school with, I played sports with. And they were good friends of mine, and their fathers were all iron workers. The Irish, they were all iron workers, and a lot of my Irish friends' fathers were part of the the Irish IRA, Irish Republican Army, and they used to get in trouble, indicted. They were close with Bruno. We were all got along good. They used to come down to the restaurant. They had their night to eat. Our night was Tuesday and like Thursday. And the Irish crew used to come down, I think on like like Friday night or something. Their own night, they come down and eat with Bruno, 12 of them. And, we were all close. We all, there was no fighting. If there was a beef, all sat down and worked it out. Bruno was very good. He was great with the Irish crew and he was great with us, our guys. We all got along. If there was any beefs, they squashed it, because we're all together. Back in the day, now we're all friends now.
Is there any movies about Springfield that are kind of similar to Hungry Hill, or is that going to be in a league of its own? No. Hungry Hill's a league of its own. There's no movies like that. Hungry Hill's a league of its own. There ain't even movies in New York that are like, almost like, I don't want to compare it to it because it was a great movie, but I'll give you like a little taste of Hungry Hill. Remember the movie with Damien will know, he'll tell you on the screen. Sean Penn was in it in New York, where the brother was Irish brothers. One was a nut with long hair. Damien knows the movie. It was an incredible movie, and Sean Penn was an undercover cop. And the Irish guy brother lived in New Jersey. The other one was in Hell's Kitchen, and they were up against the Italians. It's Hungry Hill, I believe, is better than that, but it was that kind of show. Damien, he'll text you right now and tell you the name of that show. It was it's great, real
great
gritty,
State of
right?
Grace.
State of Grace.
State of Grace.
Yeah.
Nasty. State of Grace. Anyone ever see that movie? Go watch it. That's a kind of a little feel of Hungry Hill, but I believe it were better. But that's neither here nor there.
I'll definitely check it out, man.
So that's what the movie, State of Grace. It's in the same, as good as The Town from Charlestown, The Town with Ben Affleck. It's like that kind of, The Town is about the Irish bank robbers and that, but it's that kind of feel, State of Grace. Yeah. But it's an incredible movie. Whoever never watched it, go watch that movie tonight or this week. You're going to love it.
Hell yeah. But,
oh yeah, he said it right there, State of Grace. Yeah, he knows. Yeah. So, yeah, that's it. Yeah, it was great. What's JG say? I see JG.
Getting your
What's that?
star breads for the holidays. Italian shop, Orange Street.
Oh.
Get your star breads.
Oh yeah. No, that's what place did they say? Because there's a couple places on Orange Street. There's what's the
Italian
place? It's really good.
Italian.
Oh shit.
He didn't say the place.
Oh shit. It's really good. It's right on Orange Street. I think he's meaning that place. Yeah, they serve all the best bread. I forgot if he says the name of it, I remember. It's been around forever. I just got a mind block. But it's really good. Oh, Joe's Bakery. Is it Joe's Bakery on Orange Street? It's incredible. Joe's Bakery. I think that's the name of it.
They didn't say
yeah, Jay, whatever
name.
His name was, he'll tell you. Yeah. What's this guy? I like this guy here. What's his name? Gianni Catalano? What's his name? Gianni. I like this kid. He follows
Blarney
me.
Stone.
What's he say? Who?
Do you Damien, remember Blarney Stone?
Oh, Blarney Stone was a bar in Hungry Hill. It's going to be, our friend owned it. It's going to be in Hungry Hill. It's a gritty Irish bar, really good bar. My friend's father used to own it, Dave Birdie, and his father was Dave Birdie Sr. 30 years, and it's like a wicked, just you go in there, you get drunk. It's nothing great about it. No, just a hard Irish joint. You go in there, the iron workers, 6 o'clock in the morning, you go by and the ironworks are getting bombed before they go to work at 8 in the morning. So it's packed from the time they close at 3 in the morning till the time it opens at 6:30.
Yeah, and they're walking on beams and shit, right? They're walking on beams all hungover.
Yeah, and and then the third shift that walks on beans are getting off at 6 in the morning to come drink all day, and the second shift is in there at noon drinking until 3 when they leave. I don't know how the fuck they built anything, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's insane, man.
Yeah, but Springfield's a crazy town. It was. Now the gangs are taking over. And, Spanish, the African Americans, now it's a whole nother day and age, especially Spanish, Holyoke, Mass, Chicopee. It's bad. Enfield, Connecticut's right on our line. A lot of gangs. Yeah. It's just crazy. The young kids today, it's no joke. The young kids, you could be at a light and there'll be a 16-year-old kid in a car and he cut you off and you tell him to go fuck himself. He'll shoot a gun right at your car. So just be careful these days. You got to be careful today. The kids today have no rhyme or reason. They'll shoot you right in your head for a drop of a nothing. So just be careful.
It's been getting crazy out there, man. And my condolences for all the people that lost their life in that parade accident, man. That was terrible.
100%.
That wasn't an accident either. It was deliberate, that guy. That's crazy, man. I can't even believe that happened.
Yeah, it's crazy. The shit that goes. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah.
Thank you, Ronald. I appreciate it.
Yeah, this is the 18th anniversary. I hope I answered all questions about Bruno.
Definitely, man. You did a good job,
what,
bro.
Give you something?
And happy birthday tomorrow to Bruno, man. It's crazy that he died the day before his birthday.
Tomorrow to Bruno. Adolfo Bruno, rest in peace, my mentor, my brother. Yeah. And I'm not going to get into it now. It'll be for another show. But I'll take you through the chain of events. I was at his house the night he was murdered. The night, he was murdered, I was at his house.
You broke up, man. I couldn't hear you.
Murdered. Hello.
Yeah, you're breaking up.
Staxx.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I'm getting a bad feedback. All right, I'll tell you real quick. I was at his house the night he got murdered from 11:30 that night till 4 or 5 in the morning. I was at his house the whole night, and it was crazy. Between his kids, his wife, all his friends showing up, it was a crazy, crazy night. And that's a whole nother show in that itself. And nobody knew what happened. Nobody knew why he was killed. It was a crazy, crazy night, and I was there through the whole thing.
Do you know what time?
I was there at the wake, at the funeral.
What time was it at night that he got shot?
What? He got killed, I'm going to say roughly between 10:15 and maybe 20 of 11 on a Sunday night. And then I showed up on scene about 10:45 p.m. on a Sunday night, and they had just loaded him in the ambulance, and the ambulance was pulling out of the street. When I got there, I saw the ambulance literally leaving the street, and his son Victor was sitting on the curb in front of the Mount Carmel Social Club crying with his aunt, Bruno's sister, Nancy, Manzi. Her name was Mancy. Mandy was the last name. That was Bruno's sister. And Bruno's sister was holding Victor, and they were both crying on this curb. Yeah. And the FBI, the state police, the news reporters, they were everywhere. Within 10 minutes, you wouldn't even believe it. People out of the streets, people out of the apartments, out of the houses. It was crazy.
Yeah, it sounds crazy, man.
Yeah, they shot him in the cheek. Looking at his picture to the right cheek, right under his glasses, they shot him in the face there. They shot him, I think, a couple times in the abdomen, and I think 3 times roughly around the groin and then the thigh.
Damn. How long? Do you know how long?
If I can remember correctly, it was a 45 automatic that they used.
How long did it take them to get caught? I think it was 7 years, right? 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, but they were on to him a lot sooner than that. I mean, first of all, it's not. I'm not a good planner of this kind of shit. But I know. I think at one time there was like, I'm gonna say, I can't say exactly, but there had to be 10 or 12 people that knew this took place. So when you do something like this, it's bad enough if 1 or 2 people know. Can you imagine 12? So
yeah,
I think they were done from the beginning because they had so many people that knew. Yeah, everybody was talking, and then when they got caught. Some people did some stupid shit. The guy you showed the picture of, the kid Frankie Roach, the kid that looked like a junkie in that picture you just showed, right? Yeah. That kid on the left, he got caught like, I think the next couple days later, he was in New York and he got caught all fucked up on drugs, sleeping in a truck. The cops got him and arrested him like 3 days after. So, I mean, I don't even think it took 7 years for everything to come out, but this fucking kid was talking, within the first couple months. They picked this kid up a weekend later, 3-4 days later after. No, he was in Florida. I don't know exactly how it went, but they didn't get him too much longer after.
Yeah, he probably running his mouth, man.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know, but I know they got him. I think he was one of the first ones they got. And of course, he opened up like a fucking jackhammer, like a fucking can of peas.
Yeah.
So. It is what it is. He's still in jail. I think he just got out. I think he just got out, or he's getting out pretty soon, and he'll be in witness protection. That kid.
Hey, he'll have a good life there then.
Yeah, right there on the left.
Yeah, he'll be under the government's thumb for the rest of his life. Have a great time with that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's over. Listen, it's over. Anybody listening to the show, trust me when I tell you. If you got enough money to open a business or go to work as construction, go to work, do what you got to do, spend time with your kids, your family, because it's over. Believe me, it's over. And anybody that tells you different, they're number one, either morons because they're going to get arrested again, or they already got it in their head that if they get caught, they're turning. So it's one of the two, or they're just going to go back to jail and they want to go to jail. So one of them 3 things. They don't end. It don't end good. Nowadays, forget about it. Don't end good.
It never does end good, man.
Like I said, before I'm facing 20 years, life, 50 years, I raise the white flag and say, I salute. I wish everybody the best. I'm a good friend, and I salute. I wish everybody the best, and I'm doing my own. I'm doing the right thing. Fuck it, because I've seen too much, and
never too late to change your life, man.
No, it's not too late. And I'm being blessed. I'm blessed. I'm around the right people right now. And like I said, I'm a half-ass actor at best. And I got good guys around me between movies. And I'm not going to get into it now, but I'm writing a book. And I got a couple great authors with me. And I got another guy from Beverly Hills helping me with the production of the book and putting in like 10 or 15,000 Barnes and Nobles. So like I said, it's all good. And just like I said, I'm not going to get into it now because I can't talk about it. But I got a little bullshit case going right now that I got to get through, which in the next month or 2, I'll get through with it. And then whatever happens. I go do what I got to do. And then, but it's all positive from here on out. I'm all set. Like I said, I'm a grandfather. I got a little grandson, Nino. He's 6 months old. And then my daughter, Alexa, my youngest daughter, 26, going to be 27. She's having a little baby girl in a couple weeks. And that's it.
God bless, man. God bless them, man. Nino.
I put all the pictures on my site. You see him.
Yeah.
He looks like a little gangster. I hate to say it, but he's so cute. I laughed my ass off.
He has got that little hat on and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that was for his baptism last Sunday, 2 Sundays ago. It was so cute.
Yeah.
I almost had tears in my eyes. They were christening them, and it just, listen, that's what life's about. My daughters, you know, they're so proud of me now. I'm doing the best thing I can do. I'm trying to be around good people, and I was sending them pictures of the movie set and who I was around and writing back, oh my God, this is great. So that's what it's about. You know, the days of this crazy shit is over. I loved it. I lived in that. Listen, like my friend Grasso says, who's a good kid that we did the show with you, he always busts balls and goes, it's a glorious time. And no, this ain't a glorious time now. I lived in the glorious time. Now it's a great time now, but I lived in the glorious time, and that was the Bruno era. Now it's not the glorious time. Now it's the chill out, relax time, you know?
Yeah, man. Enjoy your life.
We talked about everything, and you know, I appreciate you having me on the show. It's a pleasure, Staxx. I like you. You know that. I always come to you first with everything.
Yeah,
and,
man. Thank you.
I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to talk. You know, like I said, you know, my boy Damien, thank you for asking questions. Thank you to all your people for tuning in to listen to the half-ass shit I had to tell. I hope they liked it. But everything I said is 100% true. And anybody that knows me knows exactly what I said. I was around these guys. I was around Bruno. They all know the story. I'm not bullshitting. And I just appreciate, like I said, it's his anniversary, 18 years tonight on a Sunday night. Tonight's a Tuesday. So 18 years ago. So rest in peace, poor Al. Rest in peace. But like I said, it is too bad. He's got 5 sons.
Light a candle for him, man.
You know, they're all moving on with their life, and it's too bad. What's that?
Light a candle for him.
Yeah. It's crazy. And so that's about it. But like I said, thank you for having me on the show, and we'll talk soon. And thank you again to your listeners for listening to me. Okay.
Thank you, man. Yeah, man. And if you guys want to help,
brother, I'll talk to you.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'll talk to you later.
Make sure you hit subscribe. Hit subscribe and like for Staxx. And remember, next week the Kickstarter, Staxx will have it. We're gonna put it out everywhere. If you can help us, we'd appreciate it. And like I said, Woodseck Mafia, Johnny Gotti Jr. is coming out with a project. Damien and my friend Brian, who were in it, that's in the spring. Look out for that. It's going to be incredible. And then maybe next fall, this movie Pep motion pictures coming out, and yours truly, Chicky, will be in it. You'll be pissing your pants when you see it. You're going to believe it, the scene I got. So that being said, thank you for everything, and I'll talk to you soon, my pal.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Man.
Ciao.
All right, peace. And thank you guys all for joining me, man. And if you guys want to help out, I'm trying to give back to the homeless people in my community. If you want to help out, you can donate to any of the apps I have. Any money that goes to the apps from now until Christmas is going to go to the homeless shelter. So if you could help me help them, I appreciate it. If you can't help, just share this video. And I appreciate every single one of you. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. I'll see you next time. Don't forget, tomorrow at 8 o'clock, Dave Icavetti.